All right, guys, what is going on? What is good? What is good? Welcome to the live stream. Welcome, welcome. There we go. There we go. There we go. What's good? Torty, Willow, Slowly, Scott, Densley, Capitalist, Julius, Marius, Patch, Marshall, Jorks. Who else is here? Who else is on time today? That's what we need to know, Chad. That is important information. We need to know who's on time and fire everybody else. Was good, Mitchell? I have low expectations for today. I have very, very low expectations for today. Okay. Why is that? Because I'm a genius. Duh. I'm just kidding. Now, evidence, of course. The evidence, based on the things that I look at, it just doesn't look great. It looks okay, but it doesn't look great. You know what I mean? Like that microwave meal. The picture looks phenomenal, but you put it in the microwave for 3.5 minutes. You stir it up, put the plastic back on, you put it in there for another minute and a half, and it comes out. It just doesn't look like the picture. You know what I mean? It looks okay, but it doesn't look great. That's kind of how I feel about today. Where we are right now, this is like coming out of the microwave after 5 minutes. You know what I mean? So, why would that be the case? Capitalist, why would that be the case? I'm glad you asked. So, Asia's low from last night. Whatever low that is, as well. And then pre-market low, right? So you had these lows here and Asia's low. 830 is here, right? So we initially rallied right at the open and then slammed lower. So when we slammed lower to sweep all of these lows, right? Look at those bodies here, right? Look at those bodies, man. Yeah. Some more S&D concepts for you, baby. Some more S&D for you. So anyway, yesterday I told you on a higher time frame, big picture thinking, by the way, if you've been reading along with Book of the Month, big picture pointed to higher pricing on an overall basis. That doesn't mean every day is going to be higher, but I told you yesterday, I said if I had to pick a side, I'd say higher. But, you know, we'll see. So what we leave behind is equities open high, obviously, at 8:30. And 9 o'clock wasn't until about right here. But that's still the first 30 minutes. The highest high in the first 30 minutes is there. And then just above that is London's high. So we do obviously sweep the lows and we run all the way up here and we sweep London's high, but look where we get to, right? Look where we get to. Juan, MJ. Had some turtle soup this morning. I love to see that. I love to hear that. 2020. What do you think that is? What do you think that is, chat? If we go to Tuesday, February the 3rd and February the 4th in regular trading hours, okay, that's down here at the bottom right of your trading view, where it's either going to say ETH or RTH. I've got my socials down there. I've got the trim down there, but the button's there. Okay. So this is RTH, regular trading hours. Regular. Like your mom. So that gap here in regular trading hours, okay, 25,385.5 is Wednesday's open. And Tuesday's close, 25,447 and 3/4. You see that? 447.75. 447.75. And this high here is 447.25. So it stops 2 ticks. Not 2 points, 2 ticks into that gap. Right? See this gap here? It is, there's like responses in Asia, but it really respects that, or yesterday rather. And today's equities sweeps that. So it sweeps Monday's high, London's high. And that is where we are. See that? Did you guys catch all that? Drop some ones if you guys are with me so far. So our open is always important. And we went lower first initially, like the first couple seconds or maybe the first 2-3 minutes, it went higher, but the first like 20 minutes, 15 minutes, we actually went lower and swept lows, swept Asia's low, came back for equities open high and London high and previous day high, right? How far can price go above a high or set of highs? The next available imbalance, right? So we're like already in that basically, like the larger one, and that's here. So you see how that works? Price trades from what to what? Liquidity to liquidity. I'm including London's high if you didn't see like previous day's high, right? Liquidity to liquidity. Crazy shit. Crazy stuff, chat. Crazy stuff that we're doing here. So back to my point. Why do I think today is like the microwave? Because we already swept downside, we've already swept a lot of upside, and now we're just within the day's range. You know, where's the liquidity? My best guess for today is that the failure swing is at today's high of the day. That doesn't mean we can't trade lower though. Okay, I would say higher pricing if it were me. But again, look at what we've already done. It's very difficult to frame something one-sided with what NQ is printed, at least for me. Okay. Now, if we contrast that with ES, right, we get a little bit of a different story. Okay, so let's go back to pre-market and equities open. Pre-market had a low at 710, and we swept that at like 840, 845. Okay, cool. So ES 710 makes the same low, same pre-market low, and that equities open is here, higher initially, just like NQ, and it goes lower at 840, 845. However, it does not take the pre-market low. So we have short-term accumulation. We go higher, but the way that we made these highs here is pretty janky. Okay, pretty janky. Short-term high. We trade above that, back into the range. Then we come up to create these highs and kind of dilly-dally. Then we come up to sweep that and then trade lower. Okay. We go into a discount on our current range here. And then we get another, let's go back to NQ for a minute, like 1020 down to 11 o'clock, right? 1020 to 11 o'clock. 1020 to 11 o'clock, ES is higher again. So it's like, okay, we rallied off of that. Next retracement could be a long opportunity to go for that. That's why there's an alert up here. And we come down for the down candles. somewhat of a reaction, right? We get some responsiveness. We do get a new high here, barely, and then we just give all of that back. And we just now took these lows here. So it's just janky to me. Janky to me. Oh, I'm gonna put that back on there. And if we look at our high, again, this is a failure swing. Do you guys know what that is, right? You guys know what a failure swing is? A failure swing, okay? We have a high and then a lower high. 9:10 to 9:30 Central. 9, we actually make the high at 9:05. And 9:30, the 9:30 high sweeps that here. So we have a higher high on ES, the wicks, higher high here, whereas NQ has a lower high at 9:30. So that is a failure swing. Okay? So ugly to me. Ugly to me. It's not to say there weren't opportunities. It's just the the runs to higher time frame objectives that we have. Not it. You know what I mean? Remember these highs up here? 7,029, 30 if you round up. Right? We did not extend for that. That's what I mean by that. So instead of going higher and then potentially like spooling in the final hour to keep going higher for that, ES is like, nah. See what I mean? So let me ask you guys this. What constitutes a high probability trade? In your mind, what constitutes a high probability trade? I touched on this a little bit earlier. Joey says not being able to justify both directions. Who else? There's more than one right answer, chat. In your mind, what do you see that goes, that's a high probability trade right there? Maria says a clean target. I like it. MJ says liquidity taken on one end with opposing liquidity. I like it. Buying below old lows, vice versa for sells. Says Patch. I like it. Multiple confluences, clean target, high time frame concepts, says Willow. I like it. Overlapping concepts with clear target, says Patch again. Confluence of at least a couple concepts with a high probability target. Okay. If we can frame both sides, that's not a high probability trade. If we can't justify either side, that's not a high probability trade. A clean target does make for a good bias. Liquidity taken on one end with opposing liquidity, yes. Especially if it's a clean target. Because it's probably going to be a market maker model. Julia says higher time frame targets or manipulation. Yep. Oh, there you go, Nicholas. Manipulation first, then high probability targets. I like it. I like it, chat. So now that we have all that out of the way, I look at this chart and I just don't see any of that stuff. You know what I mean? I don't see any of that stuff. Whatever low that is, sweat. All of these highs, sweat. And we had like a almost like a 1-2-3 formation up here. Heavy, just swiping higher to drop lower. And that 11 o'clock low was also swept on NQ. Look at that. So that's a higher high to go lower. I mean, that's high resistance highs. Gross. And so is that. Was good, Roberto. He said the 15-minute is instant eye cancer. Well, it can't be worse than like the Dow Jones on a normal basis. I can almost guarantee you that. The Dow Jones is just, the Dow should be abolished. Honestly, we should have just never. I think it was Charles Dow and somebody else. They should have just never made it. They should have just said, nope, this is a terrible idea. But that's okay. That's okay. See, what is this shit? Right? People look at this and get excited. How? Teach me, please. I know Lee Bright likes Dow. And I see it sometimes. I see it sometimes, but most of the time, this is. I'm limited. Okay, I mean, I got some skills, chat, but like, I'm still a person too. You know what I mean? Like, there's just, I can't do everything. I do have limitations. Okay, can't do it. Sorry, I lost my music. There we go. The person who says I can and I can't are both right. And yeah, I can't trade Dow as nearly as good as the others. Fact. It just does what it wants. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. So anyway, that's about the extent of what I have for you as far as today. Okay? This sucks to me. And I would not want to trade this anymore. You know? I don't like it. I do not like it. I will say, I usually don't bring up currencies a lot. But I will say British pound has some fairly clean lows at 135.86. That could probably be something. But I would have wanted to see that. Oh, we did it a couple hours ago. I would have wanted to see a run, or sorry, a sweep above some highs first. And instead we get a failure swing and now we're lower. So probably like 70, 80 pips lower from here. I could see something like that. I'm thinking about switching to trading Asian session after or instead of New York. Any tips or suggestions for indices? I do not trade Asia. So I don't know. Manage your risk. Don't do stupid things. You know? You should probably study macros in Asia. That would probably be a good idea. See if there's any validity to those things. I can't do much better than that. I don't trade Asia. But good question, though. So it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas for shorts. So that short-term accumulation is about to get pooped on. That's equities open low. That's our pre-market low. So in the short term, that was bullish in comparison to NQ. And those have now become downside targets. But what do you do? What do you do now that like we're almost there? We're like 1 or 2 points away. I don't know. Hop off the charts and go read a book. Probably. What else you guys got? What else do you guys have? We didn't even check SPY. You guys didn't even ask about SPY. It's like you guys just hate me. Yeah, this is pretty trash as well. Same highs though. But I guess it's not a surprise to get a few days of upside for a little bit of a pullback. No worries. But if our, and it's the same thing here, if our pullback is not ridiculous, like meaning coming all the way back to like way down here, then I would still be fairly bullish. And this is fairly close, not just to the C8 logo, but the market maker model as well. Want 6895 on ES, then launch for all-time highs. Yeah. That's probably. Oh, you said 68.95 down here? Like take Monday's low? Yeah, take yesterday's low and then run. Oh, 4 hour. Ugh. You guys over here making up fucking time frames. Who does that? Who does that, bro? 4 hour. Willow, we got to get you into rehab expeditiously. That may not be weed that you're smoking, big dog. We need to do some independent investigation here. Somebody help. Somebody help, please. Same highs up here, but you know, I don't know. I think it depends on what we do at Sunday's gap. I think it depends on what we do at our current low of day as well. I got to get off the 4 hour. I get a headache looking at that. Looking at that nonsense. Looking at that nonsense, Willow. Gosh. I mean, I know price is fractal, but come on. Do we have to look at these obscure time frames? No, it's not that I don't like the 4 hour. It's just it's a higher time frame. It's cool. But I don't know. I do all right without it. What camera and what program you use for the streams? Don't get the camera that I have. I have 2, maybe 3 cameras. Only one of them is hooked up to my PC, but this one is a Rebel T7. And I got bamboozled I got bamboozled by Canon. You cannot stream in 1080p through the camera without paying like $5 a month for EOS something, Canon web utility or whatever it is, and it's janky, and it's, I mean, $5 a month, I could really care less. I couldn't care less about that, but it's just the fact that like once or twice in the last couple of years, it's glitched out to where it thinks I've canceled my subscription after I paid it, and then I can't stream, and then I have to wait like 15 minutes to figure the shit out. So don't get a T7. Get something much better. I mean, I spent $500 on each one of these, and they're trash. They're trash. $500-600 or whatever it is. I would not get a Canon to live stream. I got mine set up and I just haven't moved it. Otherwise, I would go with something else. I would probably look into the Elgato. The Elgato, I think they got a new one now. It's like Face Cam 4K or something. I'm not gonna lie to you, though. Elgato, you're gonna drop a bag. Okay? If you got a budget, go with Elgato. If you're shaking it, stay off Elgato, okay? The Facecam 4K. Oh, $160. That's cake. I would do that if I were you. Get a Sony. Oh, Lee Bird's here. I was talking a bunch of shit about the Dow Jones a minute ago. I don't know if you heard all that. Lee Bird said, I stream in 4K. I don't pay. I have EOS R50. It's just, everybody's just so against white people these days. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, Chad? They go, oh, this white guy, we're going to get his ass. All these companies went, whoa, Chad, that's what happens. They'll get you. They'll get you these days. Right, Cameron? They'll get you, man. Everything's a sub. But it's cool to sub to SMS, though. That's all right. But everything else, yeah. You don't need that stuff. You don't need that stuff. Oh, I'm here almost every day. I watch on YouTube. I can't comment. Oh, okay. Yeah, I use OBS as well. I just don't do a bunch of fancy stuff. I don't have like the cool transitions, like, Peanut has all these crazy transitions and whatnot. I don't have any of that stuff. Look, I don't care, man. I don't care about all that super brain rot, short-term attention span stuff. I've always been against that kind of stuff. Look at my YouTube videos. You know what bro, look at 48 Laws of Trading. That was a PowerPoint, right? It's a 2-hour video and it's like a PowerPoint, bro. I'm not going beyond that. I've done a couple, like when I told you about the completed books or the books that I read last year or something, and I included like photos of Ursula Le Guin and some of the presidents like Lincoln and the Roosevelts and whatnot. And I'll do that a little bit, but I've just always been against all that brain rot stuff. I don't like it. First of all, I don't even think most people realize how much time it takes to edit all that stuff. You could have a 10-minute video, but you're working with like 25 minutes worth of footage and you did like 6 hours of editing and all this. Like, look, man, you guys are great. You know what I'm saying? You guys are great. You're phenomenal. If you're not a member, you suck. But all the members here are wonderful, man. I'm just not putting that kind of time into it, dude. I'm not putting in 2-3 hours of work for a 10-minute video. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That is just not a good ROI to me. It's just not. If you like all the, 2 to 3 seconds transition, 2 to 3 seconds, something else, something else, something else, and you like all the chat GBT script type videos, everyone sounds the same, everyone's got the same thumbnails and shit, you like that, go watch it. You don't have to watch me. I just can't stand that stuff. I've been doing this a long time. I've been using ChatGPT for years, okay? And I can easily tell when someone has a script or the way that they talk. It's not this, it's that. ChatGPT, you're a faggot, get out of here. You know what I mean? Okay, maybe, sorry. I'm still waking up. Maybe not, maybe you may not be a faggot, but it's like, bro, you want to be a creator, but you don't even create. What is that? You're not a creator. You're a copy and paster. You're a poser. We're not doing that here. I freestyle every stream. Every stream. But I can do that. I know a lot of things. I can answer your questions. Sometimes I may not know. And I'll tell you, oh shit, I don't know. But I like user interaction. You guys typing in the chat, or you don't like to stream ever. I can't say that. But, when you're actually interacting with the creator, it makes it a little bit more personal. You know what I'm saying? Versus, look, I've watched a little bit of Peanut. And to be fair, the guy is very entertaining. And pretty funny too. 6970.5, 6970.5. We didn't even take that low. And I was just amazed at how many people were donating $100, $50, $20, to ask him a question or to say some stupid joke, and he doesn't even see it. Doesn't even acknowledge you, but yet people are just throwing money at him. It's crazy to me. But there's no personal connection there. It might be a community, but there's no personal connection with the creator. And I just don't, I don't know, maybe we just don't see stuff the same way. But I wouldn't want that. 48 Laws of Power is so underrated. I review majority of the laws in the AM and has helped me tremendously. Well, 48 Laws of Power is the book by Robert Greene. 48 Laws of Trading is a video that I did on my channel that was inspired by Casper SMC. I did one. I didn't watch the whole thing though. Casper's cool, but I didn't watch the whole video. And there was another guy who did one even before that. I forget the guy's name. But he had did something similar too, like the 48 Laws of Trading or 48 Laws of Trading Psychology or something like that. And I was like, you know what? I know enough to do 48 Laws of Trading on my own. And that's why I shouted them out at the beginning. Because it wasn't like my original idea. How to trade like Sun Tzu? That's me. How to trade like Marcus Aurelius? That's me. Those are original. I need to do more of those. I can't believe how many views he gets. It's insane. Again, Mason, he's great. I mean, he's funny. He entertains. Like, I've actually laughed a couple times. I mean, the guy knows how to keep people entertained, and he's a decent gamer, Claude AI, it's insane. No, I haven't. I've heard of it, but I really don't use a lot of AI. I only like ChatGPT because I've been using it for a long time, but I really don't use it that much for YouTube. I got you, Johnny. I got you. All right. Well, anyway, I don't have anything else. Let me go through a couple announcements real quick, and then we'll shut it down. The calendar, okay? The How Successful People Think calendar, that is the book of the month for February. We are on the 10th, right? So today is the 10th, which means you should be between chapter 4 or chapter 6 or beyond that. If you are not on chapter 4 or beyond, you are behind. This book is easy enough to catch up in a day, less than that. So, matter of fact, yeah, what chapter are you guys on, if you don't mind me asking? Man, I'm hungry, dude. I'm hungry, man. I've been eating really good lately. Like clean. Steak, grilled chicken. Been working out a little bit. Not crazy. Not crazily over the top, but I feel great. You know what I mean? My book arrives today, blocked. Yep, you already know I'm banned. Yep. Yep. I like chapter 3. Is chapter 3, I think, is creative thinking. If I'm not mistaken. I think it's big picture. Focus thinking. And then I think chapter 3 is creative thinking, if I'm not mistaken. Almost done with it, says Libre. It's the second read of this book. You made me buy it last year. Well, did you like it the first time? On a scale of 1 to 10, Libre, on a scale of 1 to 10, what do you think about it? And Friday the 13th, yikes, if you're superstitious, Friday I will put out the companion essay for the first 3 chapters. Okay? And then we'll have our brief discussion on the 27th. Companion essays for members only. Book discussion is for members only as well. Got to 9 yesterday. See, I like that, Julius. I like that. Patch, take notes. Take notes. Okay? Take notes. Write it down. Write it down. Libre got it last year. Oh, harness creative thinking? Oh, yeah, close enough. Close enough. Getting the series soon. Phenomenal read. First John Maxwell book. That was my first John Maxwell book as well. You should go with How Successful People Grow next. That one is really good. I don't remember the others in the series, but I do know those two. They're fantastic. I'm taking notes. Okay, fine. You're unblocked then. You're unbanned. I will allow it. There's only 2 more announcements that I have, and for anybody that's new here, I do have a Substack, which is free. Almost everything I do is free. Okay. A lot of people don't like that. As if I care. You know what I'm saying? As if I care. So, if you would like, you should, to if you want to subscribe, you could go to that link, and you can either download the Substack app, or if you sign up with your email, you will get the articles that I write will go directly to your email as well. So you can actually have that in your inbox, which is a good idea, because if you know how to search, which everybody knows how to do, then if you search, John Phibbs Substack or something, then you'll have it all in one place. And a lot of the times I do release them in the Discord as well, so you can print them out, so you have a little bit more reading material. And then the last thing, especially if you're new, if you're on Instagram, my book page is at the wall shelf. Log in. Are you? What a joke. What an absolute joke. That is my public library page, the wall shelf. So I post the best books that I read or have read. I don't post some of the trash ones. Why would I post it if it's trash? I think this series is different than what Maxwell used to propose. Short, easy read, great for beginner readers. I will give it a 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10, really? What do you not like about it then? Like what would have made it a 10 out of 10 for you? But yeah, I like what John did, okay? And this is what I try to do as well. If you take all of Maxwell's books, I think there's 93 of them by December. There's like 3 or 4 more coming out this year. It's on Amazon already. You can actually pre-order them if you want. But if you take his 90 something books, and there's a few different series, but there's a lot of overlap, sure, but they're not all the same. You know, there's different lengths of books. The ones that are 300 pages or whatnot, and then you have like the really short stuff. Right? There's London's low or pre-market low. Not yet. I jumped the gun. Still trying to get in the Discord chat? You have a blue badge and you are not in the Discord chat? That's bonkers. Oh, 1250. 1250. We are now at our 1 p.m. macro. Man, my stomach, dude. Feels like someone stabbed me in my stomach. That's what I get for having an energy drink for breakfast. Go to your Discord, go to your Discord user settings, click on the YouTube icon, and then sign in. That's the only way to do it. Look at NQ for a second. See, like, what is this? What type of price action is that? Terrible. Terrible. I had the same issue. Wasn't eating enough, so my stomach acid was eating my stomach. Oh, yikes. Oh, here we go. Pre-market low. It needs to spike down there. It needs to do it with some emphasis instead of just fiddle farting around like me in high school. Know what I'm saying? It needs to just stab in there. Wow. All right. Well, not the most eventful, couple of minutes, but Interesting how the low that we talked about was met in a time window we often talk about. Where's the indicators? Where? You see them? I can't find them. Somebody point them out. So, anyway, markets are scripted. They're controlled. And I don't know. Is that something always tradable to you? Well, probably not. Probably not. And I said that earlier. I'm like, well, what do you do when it's this late? Well, probably nothing. Right? But yet we still went down there, and we went down there in a time window that popular people will tell you do not exist. But yet, here it is. Here it is. Precision is still there. Indicators not. What tools do you see? I don't know. Can't walk a dead cat. I remember that stream. I don't remember what I talked about, though. Convicted. I meant to answer that a minute ago, but I wanted to watch that for a minute. I've been eating less though, and I've been working out and drinking a lot of water, and I think my stomach is like, where is the processed food? Give me the processed food, and I'm like, no. I'm not gonna give up energy drinks. That's too far. I'll probably hang myself. But everything else though, been swapping out things, certain products, certain foods I've been swapping out for the better stuff. You should follow Check Oasis on Instagram. There's an Instagram page called Check Oasis, and they post lab tests and studies and stuff like that, and they'll be able to tell you like some of the better products that you can get. Like that's why I swapped over to Icelandic, sorry. Ta-da! Not paid sponsorship, but Icelandic, some of the best water available according to them. I don't actually know, but it tastes great. It's expensive. But it's also expensive to neglect your health in the long run too. So, you're either going to pay now or pay later. So, all right. With that, y'all be good, be blessed. I don't know what the low of the day is going to be. I don't know. We may extend for this gap, for our Sunday gap. I'm not really sure. I don't know what to tell you. We already got our pre-market low for ES. I don't know what else. I mean, maybe NQ catches up to go lower, but I'd rather this is not a good trading day from here to me. I don't see anything here worth doing. Hitting a few bench presses as I watch the live stream. Nice. Very good. Very good. All right, y'all be good, man. Be good, be blessed. I will put out a market view later this afternoon / this evening for the members here. We will have one more free live stream for the public. That will be tomorrow, the 11th. So yeah, make good decisions, and I will see you guys tomorrow.